Hello and welcome to Automate Live. My name is Jana Martin and I'm the Media Production Manager at the Association for Advancing Automation, the host of Automate, and I'm very excited to be joined by Arlon Martin, the Vice President of Market Development at SiLC Technologies. Arlon, thanks for being here today. And next to him is Nirmal Warke, the Chief Technologist at SiLC Technologies.
Hello.
Thank you for being here today, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Well, just for folks who don't know out there yet, can you just tell us a little bit about what is SiLC Technologies and what do you do?
Yes. Thank you, John. So SiLC Technologies is a silicon photonics-based vision sensor company. We're headquartered in Monrovia, California. We're a startup. We were founded in 2018. And here at the Automate Show, we're really excited to announce that we received the prestigious Automate Innovation Award for our Trace line scanner. We'll talk more about that in this interview today.
Congratulations on that. A great victory.
Thank you.
So why is this technology such a breakthrough in the automation industry? How is it playing in the role of automation?
This line scanner can detect the distance, the range of products to a millimeter level accuracy from as far away as 10 meters. So it has a working range of from anywhere from 1 foot up to 10 meters, and it can measure objects of any dimension. So it's very, very useful for measuring the dimensions of products inside a warehouse.
Excellent. Now, you have something called Ionic Trace. What is it that sets this apart from traditional line scanners, and what kind of tasks is it best suited for in industrial environments?
So many of today's line scanners have a very limited working range. So they may do good on small objects or they may do good on large objects, but they don't have the range to scale from one to another. This has a range from a foot all the way up to 10 meters. It has a 72-degree field of view, so it can scan over very large items. And it does it with precision of 1 millimeter. And that's really, really precise. And that gives the warehouse a lot more accuracy in dimensioning boxes that would be palletized, for example.
I can imagine that this is a great benefit to your customers, not only because of, the cost savings, but probably enabling new customers to do new things that they never even thought possible.
That's for sure. So one of the big problems is to be able to dimension boxes which are irregular and also polybags. So we are receiving more and more product from Amazon or whoever that's in a polybag. And those are very difficult objects to dimension with today's scanners. The Trace, with its 1 millimeter resolution, gives very accurate dimensions. And that allows to optimize the pallets and the shipping. And if our customers can ship 5% more product with every pallet and with every truck, they've just increased their efficiency enormously.
And now, can we dive into that a little bit more? How is this being used for, say, on a conveyor belt in an assembly line, on a robotic arm? What kinds of efficiencies or improvements is this providing to the customers?
Yeah, I'd be happy to take those questions. So the first part of the question was, how is it being used? So if you think about a conveyor belt, you have objects moving on these conveyors. The trace would be mounted right above the conveyor. So we have the opening right here. Trace would be mounted above the conveyor. Objects move under the conveyor. As they move under the conveyor, they're being scanned by trace. On a robotic arm, this would be mounted on the head of a robotic arm. And the robotic arm would scan things like a pallet, for example, to create a 3D model of what's on the pallet to get accurate dimensions.
Wow.
So that's essentially how it would be used. I think the second part of your question was about efficiencies.
Yes.
So the highest care about in manufacturing is throughput. Our end customers want to increase throughput, increase speeds at which they produce parts. And for that, you need to be able to scan at faster and faster speeds. But at the same time, you need to maintain that high level of precision. And that's what we offer with the Ionic Trace.
Absolutely incredible. So a lot of light scanners can be thrown off by lighting conditions or reflective surfaces. How do you solve these pain points?
Right. Good question. So there are a couple of advantages that our unique technology offers. And going off a little bit on that, our core vision sensor that we build ourselves is based on a technology known as silicon photonics and coherent imaging. And one of the advantages of the technology, which I can't go into too much detail, but it is immune to background lighting because it operates in a regime known as short noise limited. So the background light is way under the internal noise source that we generate internally.
Like visible light that you or I could see.
Visible light that comes into our sensor is just way below the noise floor. So think about our sensor as providing noise-free amplification to get the signal above the noise floor of anything else that couples into our sensor. So that's the core value that our technology offers in terms of giving us extremely high sensitivity. That's one of the aspects. I think the other part of your question was about highly reflective surfaces.
Exactly.
So sensitivity, the high sensitivity brings about the ability to detect only few tens of photons. And that's very little light. If you think about it, the light source that we're looking at right here is probably blasting about 1 million photons per second. We need only 10 or 20 photons to come back in order to detect range. So it all goes back to our unique silicon photonics technology and the high sensitivity imager that we have in the Ionic Trace.
I mean, just use your imagination, all the warehouses, all of the industrial areas that are not well lit, and the lighting changes, which can throw things off in a normal scenario too. That's incredible. So this is a class 1 laser eye safe.
Right.
How important is that for industrial customers, and how does that affect your ease of deployment?
Right. Good question. So what we find is ease of deployment is a key care about for a lot of the end customers. Now, if you're not class 1 eye safe, it requires stringent safety mechanisms to be installed in the industrial site. And there's a lot of regulation that goes along with it, a lot of training for the workers. It's a cumbersome process. And what we offer is a solution here that's not just class 1 eye safe, but it's about a factor of 6 away from being class 1 eye safe. So it's really, really eye safe.
Wow.
And the way you install this is as simple as installing a camera at a location. You literally mount it up there and it's ready and it goes.
That's some easy integration,
yes,
if I've ever heard of it. And, at A3, we're really strong proponents of safety and making sure that all of these workplaces are safe. So that's an incredible feature. For companies that are already using machine vision LiDAR systems, how is it easy to adapt to your technology?
Right. So one of the things we do is we offer a standard industrial Ethernet interface right here. And that standard Ethernet, the configuration of the sensor happens over Ethernet. The data that the sensor sends out is also sent out over Ethernet. And that's a standard interface that's used in a variety of manufacturing facilities. So
excellent.
We offer seamless connectivity to our existing infrastructure.
Very easy to switch over.
Correct.
Okay, so from logistics and mobility to security and robots, where do you see the biggest growth opportunities for this type of vision system in the next year or so?
So the warehouse automation market, which was about $23 billion in 2023, is projected to grow to $41 billion by 2027. So it's growing hugely, and you can witness it by just the show attendees that are coming to a show like Automate.
Yes.
We need better vision systems in our factories, and we need more efficient factories. And the Ionic Trace helps do both. It gives us better vision precision, and it allows us to have more efficient factories.
Love that. The customers love that.
Right.
Okay, so you've been a part of the silicon photonics high-speed data industry for some time, Arlon. How does the innovation reflect the shift in what's possible in automation, especially as we think about artificial intelligence?
So silicon photonics, we put optical components in a silicon chip. And in traditionally, optical systems were built with a bucket full of lenses and connectors and fiber. When we integrate all of these into a silicon photonics chips, we not only improve the performance because everything is closer to each other, but we also have a manufacturable product. We have something that we can manufacture in very high volume. Mm-hmm. And what that does, we learned this in the telecom industry and then the datacom industry, that when we can put things in silicon and manufacture them in high volume, it improves the performance, it improves the reliability, and it reduces the cost. Right. And those are all the things that we want to bring to the warehouse automation market is that we want to be able to improve the efficiency. We want to be able to have a scanner that can be as far away as 10 meters or as close as a foot and do a job down to a millimeter in resolution.
And you know, it seems like a fairly small size device for its capacity. Mm-hmm. You guys must have had to work hard to engineer that.
Absolutely. That's not us. That's the rest of the team that's down there on the show floor.
Yeah. Well, kudos to them, no doubt.
Sure.
So if someone watching is evaluating the inspection measurement tools for their own factories or applications, what is the key takeaway when they look at Ionic Trace?
So some of our customers have told us that they want to double their belt speed in measuring packages through the...
That's a high order.
It's tough, and today's scanners cannot do it. You need a scanner that has the velocity, and we measure velocity with every pixel, and that has the resolution that can support doubling the belt speeds. Right. And that will allow our factories and our warehouses to be far more efficient.
Absolutely. I'm hearing all of my favorite automation words: efficiency, saving money, saving time, making processes better.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
You all are here and exhibiting at Automate Show. Where can folks come and find you if they're here and they want to speak to you in person?
So we're located in booth 9307, which is in the lower level. We'd be delighted to show you. We have the trace in operation. We have conveyor belts. We have product going underneath the conveyor belts. So come down and have a look at the resolution, our millimeter resolution.
Absolutely.
We're able to measure even the thickness of a business card on our conveyor belt.
Really?
So come down and have a look at what we can do with the Ionic Trace.
Absolutely. And congratulations to you both and the whole team again on winning this year's Innovation Award here at Automate. We're really excited about your technologies. We love supporting this industry at A3. And we're so happy to have you on the program today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're honored to win the award.
Absolutely. All right. And with that will be it for today with SiLC Technologies. But stay tuned. In just a few minutes, we'll be right back with more here from the Automate Live desk.